So I'm going to take you through a sequence of hip mobility exercises. First, I'm going to tip from this position, tip both of my knees over to the left. So I'm in a staggered sitting position. Now, depending on your mobility, you might be able to sit up on your hand, just supporting yourself here propped up on a straight arm. If it's challenging to sit up in this position, you might end up down on your forearm, or to make it even easier, potentially lying all the way down on your side. And then this back leg, the positioning here to start is really key. I want you to slide your back leg back, 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 back as far as you can kick back so that you're squeezing through the glutes to get hip extension and opening up through the front of the hip. All right, so everything I'm about to show could be done at the easiest stage in this position lying on the side. To make it a little harder, you could come up onto your forearm. To make it even harder, you could prop up onto your hand. I'm going to take just the middle position and be on the forearm. So the leg is kicked back, and then the first thing I want you to do here is just lift your whole leg, thigh, shin, foot, everything all on one plane, up away from the floor and bring it back down to the floor. So I'm trying to keep this top hip rolling forward and this leg kicking back the entire time. So I'm maintaining that hip extension. Your hands can open up here on the side of your hip and on your glutes to feel these muscles contracting. You could even tap or pound here for some sensory feedback to help activate some of this musculature. So I want you to do about 10 repetitions of everything, or just kind of go until you feel a little bit worked and warmed up through this area. So it would be about 10 repetitions, lifting the leg up and lowering it down. Once you've done that, same position, you're maintaining this. Keep the knee on the floor, so you might have to kind of tip everything forward to get that knee down. Again, if you need to adjust between lying on your side, being on your forearm, coming up onto your hand, play around with that just so that you can get the leg motion. And then you're going to do internal rotation. So the knee stays on the floor and the foot lifts up. I'm using my knee as my pivot point here. And then I'm lifting the foot. Again, I'm trying to keep about a 90-degree bend of the knee and keeping this leg kicking back. I would do about 10 of those. And then you're going to go the opposite direction. Foot stays on the floor, knee lifts, and you're going to do external rotation. Again, just using that foot now as the pivot point. Knee comes up and down, kind of like I'm opening and closing a book. Once you've done about 10 of those, we're going to do full hip circles. So as an option to get a little bit more muscular tension and engagement through the hamstring and through the back of the hip, you could put a small ball, like this little rubber ball, a tennis ball, or a lacrosse ball in the back of your knee. So I'm going to put a ball here and I'm going to hold the ball. I don't have to squish the ball. I'm not gripping it aggressively. And for this one, you'll definitely come into a side lying position. This ball is an option, right? So you could do this whole thing with no ball. That's fine. Same thing, I'm kicking the leg back. I want to thread this leg back as much as possible. And then I just draw as big a circle as I can make with this right knee. So I'm dipping it forward and down toward the floor and back as far as I can, as high as I can get it, as close as I can get it toward my chest. Just draw a circle with your knee, the biggest circle you can make. Do that maybe 6 or 8 times in one direction. Switch and go in the other direction. If you really want to make yourself tired, you could try for 10 in each direction, but these you might do a little bit less. Right? If the ball isn't there, it's the same thing. You're just going to pull your heel towards your butt as if you were trying to maybe squeeze a ball in the back of the knee and draw that circle. So you keep a knee bend and the knee draws the circle. And I'm already feeling like I'm getting a little worked and tired, definitely getting warmed up in this musculature around the hip. All right, once you've done all of that, you're going to come up and swivel your legs to the second side. So I just worked this right hip. I sit up, I tip my legs over the other way, and then all of this tissue that you just worked in the outer hip is going to get a nice stretch. You're just going to take a little fold over this front shin. If you're tipping to the side here and can't sit upright, that's fine. You'll just fold over here wherever you can fold, and maybe over time you can start to walk your hands and your body around to make that stretch more over the shin. Hang out in this stretch for about 30 seconds. Once you've done that, you're all set up to go on the second side. So now I can come over onto the forearm, walk this left leg back, and again, you'll do this sequence of leg lifts, really trying to squeeze out as much height as you can get. You'll do the internal rotation, knee stays down, foot lifts for about 10. You'll do the external rotation for about 10, and then ball is optional in the back of the knee, fully lying down on your side, hip circles. I'm just doing a quick, what I call the cooking show version here, quick version on the second side. And then once you've done all that, now you've just worked this other hip. I've just worked my left hip. And I'm going to repeat this little swivel of the legs the opposite way. So I'm back to the side I started on, so that then I can do this fold over the left leg. So I'm taking this stretch, folding over the side that I just worked. Again, holding that for about 30 seconds or so. If you're here, you're here. Gradually, you'll work your way around. And then hopefully, if it's challenging for you to sit upright in either of these positions, hopefully over time with a little bit of this hip work, you will be able to achieve more of an upright seated position on both sides.